Welcome to our second podcast. It is February 8th, 2017. It is a beautiful day in Dallas, and we are actually gearing up for a marketing conference this week. We're pretty excited about that. Andy is actually, my co-host is not here again. He's dealing with some family issues. You guys keep him in your prayers. Obviously he's going through some tough stuff as of today. But today's podcast is a very exciting podcast. We're going to be talking Facebook advertising. Obviously there is a lot of confusion with Facebook advertising amongst some small businesses, maybe medium-sized businesses. Maybe you are afraid to advertise on Facebook. It looks a little bit complicated. You open up the dashboard, you're kind of like, what is this? What do I do here? And then maybe you blew $1,000 and didn't get any customers, and you think Facebook advertising is a scam. So today we're going to cover 5 things. One, we're going to talk about mining audience insights, gathering data on your target audience. We're going to talk about 2, creating unique ad sets for each audience that we target. 3, accompanying ads with landing pages. 4, using striking imagery. And 5, establishing a bid strategy and a budget. These 5 things are very, 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 very important to your advertising. And I will say that without them, you're not going to have a successful Facebook advertising campaign. So let's start off with mining audience insights. I think the most important aspect of an advertising campaign on any advertising platform is targeting the right audience. If you don't target the right audience, you're probably not going to find any customers, and you're probably the guy who spent $1,000 on Facebook ads and thinks it's a scam. You have to have a target audience strategy. Probably one of the best examples I can use is, sometimes we talk to attorneys. Obviously, we have a lot of attorneys here who are clients, and a lot of them are scared to advertise on Facebook. A lot are used to AdWords, Google AdWords, that is, and they feel like it's just too hard to find their customer unless somebody is actually typing in, divorce lawyer Dallas or divorce lawyer Houston or criminal defense attorney San Antonio. They couldn't be they couldn't be more wrong about that. There is a certain way to target a certain type of customer on Facebook. It just takes the right strategy, and we do this all the time. And so, first things first, the analogy is, I had one attorney last week tell me, well, how am I supposed to target a person who's going through a divorce on Facebook, by their likes or their interests or things of that nature? If you've ever browsed the internet before, you'll notice that companies re-advertise and retarget customers based off of what they've searched for or what they've looked at in the past. Facebook is one of those companies who utilizes remarketing. And I will say that, if I was going through a divorce, I would probably be searching on Google, what do I do when my wife wants to divorce me? Or, what do I do if I'm going through a custody case? Or I may actually be looking for other lawyers at that time. And so Facebook has that data. In fact, Facebook has more data than any other platform on the internet. That's crystal clear. So Facebook actually, if you utilize it correctly, can be the most effective advertising platform for your professional services company. And I include attorneys in that. And so finding and mining the correct audience insights for your product or service is the first step to creating a successful Facebook advertising campaign. And so usually with customers, we will spend, a week, usually about 4 or 5 days, trying to find the right target audience and trying to target ads and target our ad sets to those target audiences. 2, you want to create a unique ad set for each audience. So, let's say we have one audience that's, between the ages of 19 and 26, and they're all within a certain financial bracket. And then we have another ad set or another target set that is, between the age of 35 and 45 that has a certain financial bracket, or that has certain interests or certain likes, a certain type of person. Each one of those people are going to require two different types of advertising approaches. And so, if you look at it like this, every ad has a title, every ad has a description, every ad has certain sorts of imagery, which we'll get down to in step 4. You want to target those customers by what they like. The younger crowd may like more of an urban type of ad, and the older crowd may like more of a professional, old school approach to how people sell them. And so you want to have unique ads for each type of audience, and I think that is a major key to a successful ad campaign. 3, you want to accompany your ads with landing pages. And so landing pages, if you don't know what a landing page is, you may not think you know what a landing page is, but you use them probably every day if you click on ads. A lot of companies, instead of sending a potential customer to their home page or to a regular page on their website, will send a customer to a one-pager where there is one way in and no way out. The only way out is to leave the website. And they do that because, most landing pages either have an evaluation form or they've got a big call button or a big phone number. You want to give your customer one place to go. And if they don't want to buy from you, that was the only place they could have possibly went. There isn't 1,000 buttons at the top of the page where they can click out and go somewhere else. And so landing pages are a very effective tool to figuring out what works and what doesn't work with your on-page advertising optimization. And so one tool that we use here through one of our partners, Unbounce, who hands down is the best landing page service on the internet. And I mean the best landing page service on the internet, hands down. And I would say that they have been a partner of ours for several years. And these guys are hands down the best landing page service available, and all of our clients love them. But you can use a service like Unbounce to build these landing pages. And so not only do you want to build landing pages, but let's say, back to number 2, when we're talking ad sets, typically a typical customer will have, 5 to 10 ad sets. Some customers have 14, 15, 16 ad sets. And so let's just say you're a customer with us that has 10 ad sets. We're going to put 2 different types of landing pages per ad set because we want to utilize something called A and B marketing. A and B marketing is where we take 2 different landing pages and put them on one ad set. And so, user A comes in and clicks your ad, and we take him to landing page A. And then user B comes in and clicks your ad, and we take him to landing page B. And we continue to round robin that traffic through A to B to A to B. And so at the end of our, let's say we do a biweekly or weekly advertising update, we go back and say, okay, which one of these landing pages for this particular ad set towards this target was the most effective? And that's the best way for us to create the best possible return on your investment. We want to get your advertising down to where we have the highest possible conversion rates, which then equals the highest possible ROI. So obviously you want to accompany your ads with landing pages, and again, you want to have 2 landing pages per ad set. 4, you want to use striking imagery. This is my favorite part because I actually used to work at Pixar. I used to work at Real Effects. I've been a web designer and a graphic designer for 15 years. And I actually began designing websites on Macromedia Flash, which was, probably about the stage of the internet where people kind of started to like and started to browse the web. It became very consumer friendly, very animated. So I have a very distinct artistic background, and so this is one part of my 5 tips here that really stands out to me. The number one thing I hate is when I go to an attorney's website and I see some corny gavel picture at the top or a corny courtroom picture. I hate that more than anything. Um, I believe that consumers are learning and grasp now what a great looking website looks like and what a corny website looks like. Used to, they didn't know. It was just cool to have a website. But now, it is obvious to people what a good website looks like and what a bad website looks like. And that's because so many people are browsing big name brands on the internet every day. Not only are they using social networks like Facebook and Twitter, but they're also, surfing brands like Pizza Hut and Public Storage and, their favorite sports team and things of that nature, to where they understand what good design looks like. So not only do you need to use striking imagery, professional imagery on your website, but you need to use it in your advertising and your landing pages as well. Um, a picture sells 1,000 words, and it may make you $1,000. And number 5, establish a bid strategy and a budget. It would take me forever to sit here and explain to you what your bid strategy and what your budget should be. Technically, that varies. It depends on your competitors. It depends on your industry. It depends on your region. And we would spend hours and hours and hours. I mean, we could technically write a 1,000-page book on that. But I believe that because before I say that, I get asked all the time, hey, Jared, can I spend only $100 with you guys and get results? Can I spend only $300 with you guys and get results? The answer to that question is it depends on your industry, your region, and your competition. If your competitors are spending tons and tons of money in one area, or in 3 or 4 areas, and they're going after the same targets, and they're bidding high amounts of money to pick up your customers, and that's what their acquisition cost, or they're focused on a higher acquisition cost than you, or than you can afford. You're going to have trouble advertising with a low budget. But then again, there are some industries that are less competitive that are easier to get in, and it just totally depends on your situation. So that is one thing that we do focus on up front in our strategy sessions is, what is your budget? What do you want to spend? How can we make it work? And, typically, on average, if I was just to throw a number out there, I would say it's okay to start off with $100 on Facebook, not on Google. Google is a totally different platform. I think one of the coolest features that Facebook utilizes is their Boost feature, where I can take a post on my page, click Boost, and it only costs me $5, and I can interact with 40, 50, 60 different people that never knew I existed before I hit that button. What an investment that is. I mean, $5 to go talk to 60 people, 50 people. That's a great investment. So I do believe most companies, there's always an avenue on Facebook for you to advertise cheaply and, more economically, as far as, if you're a startup or you're low on investment dollars. But, again, I think it is very important that you have the right bid strategy, because, again, your competitors are either going to eat you alive or you're going to eat them alive. So back to, just to kind of recover what we've talked about here. Number 1, you want to mine audience insights. You want to find your target markets. You're going to find multiples, and you want to make sure that you have that information right, and you will improve it over time. 2, you want to create unique ad sets for each audience. And like I said, not only do you want to create unique ad sets, but you also want to create landing pages around those assets, which is number 3. And obviously 2 different landing pages per ad set. That way you can utilize A and B marketing and try to create the best